Hi, I believe we are live. I am just setting up my iPad because I think it would be easier to read comments off of the iPad. Um, at some point, once I get more familiar with this, I will schedule it so that people know when I'm going live. Oops, I think I just did the wrong thing on the iPad. And I don't really know any place to share this other than for me to be here now. What I'm doing today, and let's see if I can get a little bit closer, is the shadow comes up when I'm handling the camera, but otherwise there's not much of a shadow. This is from Droomreis. I'll just show you the full picture as it just was. From Maria Trolle, this is the cover. And I'm doing this as a buddy along with a friend of mine. Her name is Jess, and her channel name is Color Me a Pink Monkey. And we were doing this as a color along, and I was using my Neo Color 2s, which, by the way, I'll put to the side. Hi, Kim. How are you? And welcome to my channel. I just realized that I don't have my mic on, so I hope I was clear. Just give me a moment to find my mic. I was just saying what I'm doing here today is coloring more in this picture from Droomreis that I'm doing along with Jess. Now my mic is on, so I might have been a little bit subdued. Oh, good. You can hear me okay? That's great. So this is exactly where we left off on my first live stream. My second live stream, I was coloring out of a different book, but I thought I would go back and at least today do the flowers. So we'll just get a little bit of a close-up. When I do a close-up with the camera, I adjust my boom arm. I don't know well enough about whether or not I can use software to adjust the boom arm, but I'm just adjusting it that way. My lighting problem might have been solved. I was having my lamp that I use on my desk hovering over my picture, and when I do that, it prevents too much of a glare. But I set the lamp up, and I think it gives us fairly good lighting, especially since it's evening time. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll work on the bigger flowers. These are the colors that I pulled out a few days ago, and I never went back to this picture. I've worked on a couple of other pictures since then. So I'm just going to pull out some oranges and an orange yellow. I'm not going to use my electric sharpener on when I'm live streaming, so I will use my T-Gal, and this T-Gal is very old. Usually when I buy these T-Gal sharpeners, I buy 3 or 4 at a time because they do break and they do go dull, but I just use them until they stop working, and then I move on to the next one. So I thought I would just go ahead and get started. I am only here to color into chat. I am not a good colorist with regard to anything along the lines of a tutorial, but should anybody, part of our pencil tip broke off, be interested in knowing what I'm using, I'll be glad to share that, and I'll show that in one moment. These are the polychromos, and this is light cadmium red. And so I can't give any kind of a lesson, but I certainly can share with you what I'm using. So I'm just going to do some blending on the petals of these flowers. I will do the bigger ones, orange and yellow. This one maybe more reds and oranges. And then I will do maybe some blues for these colors up here, these flowers there, and maybe even possibly there. Hi, Shalene, and welcome. Shalene, I think we've already talked about me making you a moderator. Are you still up for that? Even though there's only a couple of people here? Because Shalene's my dear friend, and I would feel kind of funny with her not being a mod. Let's see, you did. Yes, dear. I just asked you, hon. But see, I might be lagging. I'm trying to do it right now, hun. I don't know how to do it ahead of time. I probably could have gone into not Streamlabs, YouTube Studio and pre-did it, but I haven't investigated that yet. So there you go, Shalene. Yeah, I thought about it right away the second I saw your name. I just didn't remember if I had asked you ahead of time, which I think I remember asking you. So I'm just going to just do a little blending for these petals, and let's see. I'm going to go out. I'm going to do these a little different than I do when I do orange and yellow on my flowers. So when I started the video, I was the only one here, at least the only one that I could see. And I was just saying that this is a color along with Jess, Color Me a Pink Monkey. Yes, I know I'm lagging horribly, but I don't think there's any way to get around that. Nick and Tina, hi, welcome. I can ask Nick, I'll ask you, and Shalene, I'll ask you. Is there any way to work with the lagging? I'm just going to wait for an answer. If there's a secret to the lagging, I'd like to know it, because it would be great if I could correct that, but I may not be able to. Okay, so lagging happens for everyone. That's kind of what I thought. I was going to use that yellow, but it's a little too bright, so I'll choose this one. Okay, so lagging happens to everyone. Hi, Andrea, and welcome. I enjoyed going to your stream today, even though it was short. Andrea did stream earlier. I was late because, Shalene, the reason I was late to Andrea's stream, have you heard of a sticker machine? A 30-second lagging? Oh, that's horrible. Okay. Shalene, I was watching some diamond painting videos this afternoon, and I was looking at sticker machines, because you said that when you kit your diamond paintings before you start, you print the grid or the guide or whatever it's called with the Nick. StreamYard gave me a headache. If this works, I'm gonna stay with this. I know that there's YouTube Studio, there's OBS, and there's StreamYard. If the lag isn't too horrible, I'm going to stay with this. I bought sticker paper, Shalene, so that I can print the numbers and the symbols to put them on my cases for on my cases as I kit my diamond paintings that I'm going to do. But when I was looking at some kitting videos, I saw a sticker machine. So I wanted to ask you, Shalene, if you have a sticker machine. And if it's not going to be an expense that I make now, even if you have one, Shalene, because I just bought 100 sticker sheets. So I know I want to get my money's worth of those sticker sheets. But then if autocorrect is overkill, isn't it always, Andrea? I definitely know that I'm going to want to put the numbers and symbols that come with the diamond painting kits. I know that last week I thought I would have my first diamond painting by now, but I checked and it won't be here until the 14th, which is tomorrow. And then I have the four free ones from Diamond Art Club. And then I have the other ones coming from Treasure Art Studios. And then lastly, I bought a couple of cheap ones from Amazon. Sticker machines you've seen, but you already have a printer and sticker paper. Yes, Shalene, I think I'm going to just go with that. Because I have a laser printer and an inkjet. So with the sticker paper, that's probably the more economical way to go. Andrea says she went kind of crazy with the alcohol markers on Prime Day. Yay! What did you buy, Andrea? Caliats, Lemouche, Ohuhu, a brand I don't know. Tell us. Inquiring minds want to know. What kind of markers did you buy, Andrea? Um, Sammy went crazy on Prime Day today too, and she bought markers, but she had same day delivery. So she got an 80 set of markers, and they're in England with same day delivery. So that was the way to do it. I think I just want to make this inside dark. I don't know why, but I do. Um, okay, I thought I might have missed the comment. Let's see. Okay, so we'll go back to the darker color. I'm going to do these two flowers the same. I just noticed that there's a bumblebee in that flower. I didn't notice that before. Shalene, I think I may have asked you and it was kind of explained to me, but I was still a little bit confused about cover minders. And so I ended up not buying any until I kind of understand what they are a little bit more. Have you shown them on your channel, Shalene, cover minders? Oh, you got cute and creepy, Shalene. I know everybody's been wanting that, or been buying that actually. Did you get it today with Prime Day, Shalene, or did you get it already? Did you order it already, and just received it today? Now I have Camilla D'Erico's other two books, but I don't do Halloween. And Kim was telling me that it's called Cute and Creepy, and she said it is cute, and it's really not all that creepy if I don't mind some of the images that are in there. But I decided not to buy it because I don't do Halloween. So you ordered it the other day and you got it today. And okay, so Andrea got the 100 set of the Hoo markers and their skin tone set and the Bic Intensity. Andrea, I just got the Bic Intensity. I had them out because I was thinking about using them today, so I got them recently as well. Okay, I'm losing track on what colors I'm doing here. So Shalene, when are you going to color in your book? Because I thought you might be going live today. I know that you had mentioned it the other day that you might go live the next day, but I have to be honest, I kind of lost track about what day that was. So when are you going? I left some white over here. I can see some white. So Shalene, when are you? Oh goodness gracious, let me get closer for you guys. There we go. So Shalene, when are you going to color in that book? Hi Rosalind, welcome. Nice to see you. I appreciate you coming to my channel. So Shalene says cover minders she does not use, just the parchment paper, so you don't need them. Okay. Okay, so I have the parchment paper. Okay. I did ask, I think on Mrs. Coffee's or Nick and Tina's. I asked recently and I thought I understood it, but then when I went to look I'm just coloring in all the colors together. Then when I went to look cover minders up, it's like it still didn't gel with me. You don't know when you are coloring that book. Well, Janine, we all know that October is your favorite month, and Halloween is your favorite holiday. And if I remember correctly, I think Halloween might be Scott's birthday, but I'm not sure on that one. So, with Halloween being your favorite holiday, there's no way you're gonna let that book sit too long, Shalene. I know that, honey. Yes. Okay. See, I know you, girl. October is your favorite month. Halloween is your favorite holiday. And October 31st is Scott's birthday. I got you, girl. See? And oh, she says, oh, I will be coloring in it. I knew that. Shalene, I have a question for you. Was October 31st or Halloween, your favorite your favorite holiday before you met and married Scott? Or was Scott so special that Halloween became your favorite holiday? Kim, that's your son's birthday too? That's cool. So Kim and Shalene have something in common there. It's been her favorite since she was a little girl. So here's what Shalene did. Shalene did use some kind of dating mojo to find a man whose birthday was on October 31st. And I'm only kidding. That's too cool. Well, while I wait for somebody else to come in or to bring up something else, I want to tell you about this book that I'm reading. And it's kind of good that I had already decided to stream today at 5, because if I had kept reading the book, I'd be crying by now. It's called Where Butterflies Go, and I believe the author's name is Deborah Doxer. And yes, Shalene, you can talk about it now if you want to as well, because I'm about to about a book that no one has their hands on at this point, I'm pretty sure. The book is called Where Butterflies Go, and I will gladly change the subject. Hi, Kay, and welcome. And don't worry about being late. As Mrs. Coffee, no, is it who says it? You're never late. You get here when you're supposed to get here. I think Emily says that. Um, I'm reading this book, and it's about a family. Well, it's about a woman in particular, but her family. She grew up in Poland. She was a Polish Jew, and it started off in 1930. So by then, Hitler was already in power. Of course, World War II hadn't kicked off yet, but Hitler was already reigning. So the Jews were being driven out of places and being forced into what was called the Polish ghetto. Not the kind of ghetto you have in America for, poor Americans, but a ghetto where they would be lucky if they got. Hi, Katrina. Let me show this. I don't know why that held. Um, the hatred towards any kind of Jew, it pretty much in any Eastern European country was pretty intense. Well, her family, tragedy happens to her family, and her and her sister were the only survivors, and they ended up in New York. Her and her sister are not close. They do see each other occasionally, but they're not close. And the story focuses on one woman named Mira. And the story is going to be one of kind of like hope and moving on and starting over. And I think at this point in the story where I am, she's she's finding love. But her pain is so deep that I can't imagine how she has room in her heart for love. And that's why was getting so emotional before I put the book down to set up the live stream. And because the pain was just utterly intense. But her life is shifting and changing, and it's getting better. And the metamorphosis is absolutely beautiful. So that's the book I'm reading right now. I'm reading another historical fiction, but I put the other one down to read this one. Let's see. Kay says she really wants to read the Anne Frank diary. Kay, I just read that in March. I read it as a teen, but then I read it in March. It's a very, very good book. It got some criticism because it's kind of stilted. The text is stilted, but she was a 13 or 14-year-old when she was writing it, and she was not writing it as a novel. She was writing as a journal, as a diary. So there's a little bit of flack about that book, but I think it's a book that every person should read. Erudite or not, you should read that book. So you can get it from Amazon, Kay, and I'll be sure to send you a link to it later. Hi, Aaron. My son is here. There you go, Aaron Taylor. Hey, buddy. You're working and driving your truck, but you still could stop and say hi to your mom. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you to pieces, but I want you to get off the computer. You're probably on your iPad or your phone and watch that road so you can be safe because I don't want anything to happen to you. Everybody, I know he's on the road, but this is Aaron, my baby boy. He's about 30 now, so he's not my baby boy anymore, but well, I'd say 31 or 32. Um, but that's my youngest son. So that's pretty much the idea I had for these two flowers here. So I'll do the next one, which is not in frame. So we're going to make it in frame. Kay, one of your favorite books is Robert Fulghum. All I Really Learned, I Learned in Kindergarten. Really, Kay, is that a novel? Is it nonfiction? Is it a memoir? You still call your boys your babies, Shalene? Good for you. Good for you. I've always called Aaron my baby boy because he's my youngest son, and I never wanted to let that moniker go. That's my boy. All 6'4" of him. I'm going to tell you what book I just got yesterday. You may not like the title of this book, and I will be reading it this weekend. I'm just going to check my email so I can tell you the name of the book. I don't know if it's going to be as controversial as the title sounds, but let me show it to you. Can you see that? How to Make a Slave and Other Essays by Gerald Walker. Aaron, if you're still here, this book will be of interest to you. How to Make a Slave. I just have to read that book. So I don't know if it's going to be controversial to bring it up in my live stream, but it's on my agenda for this weekend. That's a big one. Yes, Katrina, 6'4", and my son Alan is just as tall. On the flip side, my son TJ is only about 5'9". He's the oldest boy. He's not as tall as his brothers. Shalene, I got that book from Edelweiss. It's my first Edelweiss download in about 3 months. Edelweiss is trying to only give books to booksellers and librarians. And so if you were having trouble getting books from Edelweiss before, Shalene, now it's going to be near to impossible. And I think the only reason that I got the book is because I said in my request that as a book reviewer of color, I think I should read that book. Otherwise, I don't think I would have gotten it since I'm not a bookseller or a book reviewer. Well, a slave doesn't have to be a color, so you're not sure. You're right, Kim. You're right. Because we know white slavery goes on every day. They're kidnapping girls and turning them into sexual slaves. So you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. So that's a book of essays, though. So I've never read an essay book before. So that's going to be different, reading a book that's not written in novel format. I have read memoirs and autobiographies, but this isn't a book on of essays. So that's going to be interesting to read that. And for Sean, I'm going to get to you in a second. Yeah. For Sean, WTF Are You Reading is the one who recommended that book to me. And I think when I read that book so that I can do a good comprehensive book review, whether it's an editorial review or an analytical review, I will read, one essay at a time and allow myself to assimilate it and move on to, I think I want a little bit more orange. I'm not going to read that like I read a novel, like sit down and read it in 3 or 4 hours. I want to read it over the course of a few days so that I can absorb the message that book is no doubt going to get out. And Kim's like her hubby calls her his slave or thinks she's his slave. Kim, too many of us wives could emulate that or could copy that statement, could repeat that statement. Yes, Kay. Don't all husbands think their wives are slaves? Absolutely. My husband said to me the other day after I had been in my office, I don't know what I was doing that particular day, but I go into the kitchen and he's like, "You're spending too much time in there. You need to spend more time in this kitchen." Now, at that time, Ari was at the hospital having the baby, and there were just two grown adults in the house, and there were 7 or 8 dishes in the sink that he had to wash that he felt was not his place to wash that very small amount of dishes. So, yes, husbands think that they can lord it over their wives sometimes. Oh, yes, he did, Kim. And guess what I did? I counted the dishes after he yelled at me. And I was on a video call with somebody. So my lady I was talking to, and I won't say her name, but the lady I was talking to got to hear him yelling at me because had set my phone on the kitchen table, and Tony didn't know that I was on a call, and he's browbeating me for 7 dishes he had to wash. He has a nut on his head. He needs a nut on his head. But he's a good guy. He's a hardworking guy. He's 67 years old, still working full-time hours. So he's a good man in 99 ways out of 100. He's a good man. There's just some things, some quirks about it that aren't so hot. But when it comes to taking care of certain things, he does well. But I think if there's 7 dishes in the sink and there's only 2 of us at home, I'm not going to be utterly overwhelmed that I'm not rushing in there to keep the sink empty. But he likes the sink empty though. That's kind of a rule in my house, but I don't subscribe by that rule. Uh-oh. I'm reading up on these comments. Shalene's got the right formula, guys. Hubby wait, how do I say this? Shalene tells her hubby that he is her slave. Shalene has the right, she's got the right answers here. We need to be talking to Shalene because that's the way to do it. Anyway, so what does everybody watch on TV? Because I see a lot of us on the same YouTube channels off and on throughout the day and evening. So let's talk. Nick, you're Tina's slave? All right. So Nick and Tina got it right, and Shalene and Scott have it right. I can dig that. So what does everybody watch on TV since the fall season, I think, is starting around the end of October? What are you guys watching on TV or looking forward to watching? And I'm not necessarily well, I guess we can talk about reality TV like The Masked Singer, for example. The Dancing with the Stars is another good one. I like Big Brother. I know Kayla loves Big Brother, but that's almost over. That's like maybe 2 more weeks. As a single parent, you're your own slave, Rosalind. I dig that. Yeah. Those kids probably think mommy's got to do everything and I know that there's too many people in this world who have grown kids and the parents are still doing, if their grown kids are living at home, their parents are still kind of slaves to their children. Oh, Kim said, okay, Shalene is buffering. Oh, everybody's buffering. My looking at the computer looks fine. Oh, yes, it is buffering. Okay, let's see. Can we change the settings? Give me a second. Okay, so the buffering has stopped. Yeah, it stopped. I'm trying to see. I don't know how to. I don't even know what bandwidth I'm on right now, guys. So I apologize for that. Nick says to give StreamYard a try. Nick, if I'm going to give StreamYard a try, I will have to call you on video or audio chat, because first time I did it by accident and it worked. And the second time I tried StreamYards, nothing happened. Shalene, okay, it's not back for Shalene, so she's going to go reload. Yeah, I noticed that when I look at the computer, it's fine, but when I looked over at the iPad, it wasn't fine. All right, welcome back, Shalene. I don't know what's going on and why it wants to be stubborn like this. So we're going to stay with oranges and yellows on these sunflowers right here. Whoops, where are we at? Right here. And I'm only going to use 2 colors here. Now, does anybody that streams, and I guess we're talking about Nick, Shalene, and Andrea, how do you adjust your settings? Let me see if I can do it here. Yeah, see, I don't see anything that allows me to adjust my bandwidth. So if anybody has a suggestion, please let me know. OBS? All right, Shalene, since you use OBS, I will get in touch with you sometime tomorrow morning. And if you wouldn't mind running me through the steps, I will write them down. In my next stream, I'll use OBS. Shalene, when you use OBS, are you able to, okay, Andrea, I'll leave you alone. Shalene, when you use OBS, are you able to adjust, are you able to adjust the bandwidth using OBS to make sure that you're 1080? I like right now, to be 100% honest with you, I could be at 360 and have no idea or any idea on how to change it. So are you able to make sure you're on 1080 or at least 720? I'm just lightening this up. I'll tell you something about these polychromos. I mean, you know, they blend fairly well, but on this paper, they don't. So I'm just lightening up this part of the flower. You don't know. Okay, so I may have to check out a video, Shalene. I know that this is only my 3rd stream, and on my first 2 streams, I didn't have any trouble. I did not have any trouble with buffering, but just because we know YouTube, I'm just trying my blender to see it, because I see a line there. I don't like it one bit. So we're going to have to use 3 colors here instead of 2. I don't know anything about bandwidth, but that could be why you guys were buffering. Could be, may not be. It's my studio where you set up. Okay, Shalene. Thank you. So the only person who commented on my TV show question was Nick. Now, I think Shalene watches This Is Us. That's the show that I cannot wait for it to come back on. Another show that I enjoy watching, even though it's been on for 20 years and I don't know where they keep coming up with these storylines, is Law and Order SVU. I watched that. Oh, you did comment on TV, Shalene? Let me go see, honey. Oh, this is Grey's Anatomy, girl. I forgot all about that one. Shalene watches This Is Us, Grey's Anatomy, and she watched the ending of Supernatural. Shalene, I do like some reality TV, but it's only a few shows. It's Big Brother, The Amazing Race. What is the one with the islands? They go on the islands, and I can't think of it. And any dancing shows. No singing, no singing reality shows, but if it's got dancing, then I enjoy it. I just totally forgot about the light yellow. Rosalind doesn't watch too much TV. She watches a lot of YouTube and reads, or she's studying. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna feel bad that you're studying, because that means you're doing something that I wish I could be doing. Survivor, Kay. Yes, Survivor. I love Survivor. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name of it. That was weird. I don't know where that glitch in my memory came from. I don't think there's. I know that Amazing Race is coming back, but I don't think Survivor is coming back this season. MasterChef in Australia is great. Okay. I did watch MasterChef, of course, the US version, maybe 4 or even 5 seasons, but I haven't watched it in several years. As a matter of fact, before last year, I watched regularly about 15 shows that I have been watching for years, and I was downloading them to my DVR. However, the only shows I ended up watching between 2019 to 2020, I mean, at the end of that season, was This Is Us, the show that comes on after This Is Us, and I can't think of the name of it, Grey's Anatomy, and Law and Order SVU. So all of the shows that I have been watching for years, I let them go because I would much rather be reading. Because when I watch TV, I go to sleep. Last night is a good example. Big Brother came on at 8 o'clock. I watched Big Brother until 1 a.m. because I rewound it 17 or 18 times, and I still never got past 6 minutes. My husband actually came to bed and took the remote out of my hand. He said, "I am so sick of hearing this show restart. You have no idea," because I cannot stay awake when I watch television. The only way that I was able to watch this episode of Big Brother, and the same for last week, was I come and sit in my office, and I sit at my desk and I watch it on my iPad. Because whether I sit on the couch or whether I'm in my bed, if I watch television, I fall asleep. I'd much rather be reading or doing something like a jigsaw puzzle, and now diamond painting and coloring and so forth. Oh, HGTV, Kim? Kay, I'm sorry. House Hunters, Beach Hunters, Fixer Upper, Tiny House Hunters. And when the Tiny House shows came on, I did watch that. Rosalind says that MasterChef Junior is on at the moment. 12-year-olds cooking dishes that chefs do. Yes, when the kids are on those shows, Rosalind, and I can watch them, I definitely will. Andrea doesn't watch a lot of TV. She mainly reads, colors, and watches YouTube. Yes, she says she gets caught up on YouTube. Andrea, I multitask when I read, so I probably literally watch YouTube 11 hours a day. If she is watching the show, she watches Merlin. So yes, and then Nick and Tina also watch MasterChef too. Shalene likes HGTV over the summer. She watched it over the summer. Yes, you're so right, Rosalind. MasterChef does make me hungry as well. I mean, come on. The meals that they make on those shows there's no words. Because I have zero amount of talent when it comes to cooking something ultra creative. Like, I will cook a meal, but it's going to be a recipe-based meal, because my kids, once they started moving out of the house, I'm going on to these flowers here. So let me adjust my camera. Yeah. Once my kids started moving out, I cooked less and less. Plus, I was getting sick and having a lot of surgeries. And then my husband started cooking all the meals. And now I'm cooking again. I've been cooking again for maybe 2 or 3 months, not counting the last 2 weeks, but I'm cooking a lot more. But not MasterChef worthy, though, that's for sure. See, these flowers are so small. What I want to do, I don't know if I can do. Let's see if I can make. Okay, I can blend. Okay. Can you see that? Well, let's bring it down a little bit more. What I'm trying to do is color this so that the tips of these flowers can be white. And although I said that I wasn't too happy with the blending, at least when I was doing the yellows and oranges, the blue and cream, the blue is cobalt blue and this cream is ivory, and I do kind of like the way this is blending, so I can only do a little bit of the blue. Okay, Kim, you're leaving. You take care. Thank you for coming, sweetheart. Yep, enjoy, you know who. Enjoy. We'll chat. Tell her her auntie, her pseudo auntie Robin said hi. I'm going to just go in a little bit here. I do this part here of the flowers, if I can get in frame, is going to be easy because it's just going to be brown. And I'm not quite sure what, let's see, let's come up. I'm not quite sure what color I'm going to color the inside of this. Maybe I'll stay with orange. So over here, I'm not really going to have a center in those flowers. It's just going to all be blue and ivory. Thank you so much, Kim. I mean, thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate you saying that. I will tell you something today. I mean about today. It's rainy, very very rainy here in Massachusetts, and usually when it rains, I sleep long hours. But I was watching a lot of YouTube today and reading that butterflies book that I was telling you about, and I wanted to stream. So I am so proud of myself for staying awake all day despite the heavy rain. And when I went to lay down to read, I put on my electric blanket and I had to get out of bed because it was so warm and so comfortable that you guys almost didn't get a live stream from me because I was just too comfy. I just want to make sure, yes, you can see this. So with everybody being YouTube fanatics like me, and I'm not calling you fanatics, but does anybody take the time to listen to music? If so, what kind of music do you like? Do I have an all-time favorite book? Yes, I do, Kay. My all-time favorite book is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I have read that book maybe a dozen times since I was a little girl. I've seen both versions of the movie, and I have read uh, two retellings this year of that book. Although I'm not really fond of the retellings, I like the classic. And I have several copies of the book in different styles. That's my favorite book. Hi, Jilly. Welcome. I appreciate you coming to my live stream. Kay listens to all kinds of music except for rap. Same here, Kay. No rap music for me. Nick and Tina like doo-wop music. And I don't know if I like doo-wop music, so I guess I don't listen to everything. I like R&B and I like pop. And I like country/pop, like Faith Hill and Faith Hill. I can listen to Faith Hill if I'm not watching YouTube and I'm just reading. I can listen to Faith Hill for 3 or 4 hours straight. I love, love Faith Hill. My favorite singer probably though is a toss up between Barbara Streisand and Celine Dion. Um, I don't really listen to Barbara Streisand like I listen to Faith Hill because there's just something about Faith Hill right now that I want to listen to. Another woman that I love is Adele. I can listen to Adele for hours too. It's oldies music and Elvis. Okay, Nick, definitely. Nope. Nope. I'm not into doo-wop then. Not at all. If I'm going to say I like any oldies music, it would have to be old Motown oldies, not doo-wop. Of course, there were some Elvis songs that I liked, like when they would come on the radio, but not by choice. Yes, Celine Dion is really good. I listen to her quite a bit. The women that I listen to the most would be Celine Dion, Adele, and Faith Hill. Barbara Streisand, the reason I say she's one of my favorites, but I don't listen to her much, is because she was my favorite for over 20 years. It wasn't until Celine Dion came on the scene that I kind of put Barbara Streisand aside. Somebody else that I really enjoy listening to is the Carpenters' music. I really enjoy that. Oh, you like Motown music too, Nick? That's good. One thing about my husband is he is a Motown expert. He can tell you anybody in any Motown group, any replacement singers, like if somebody had to leave the group or if the group lost a member for one reason or another, he just knows every single thing about Motown. Jess is here. Hi, Jess. You didn't get notified, sweetheart. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I don't know that I would want to notify people because I don't want to, I don't know how people are about that. I mean, I thought about running over to my Facebook page and putting it on there, but when I did, a few days ago, only my sister responded. Nobody even viewed that message on Facebook. So I'm really sorry that I think I colored a little bit of the leaf blue right there. I think that's a leaf. But I'm glad you're here for the time you're here, Jess. I'm so sorry. Hey, Michelle. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming to my stream. Nice to see you. You probably are just coming from dinner or making dinner. Did anybody make anything extra good for dinner tonight? Okay, I'm going to, I've got to practice my focusing, in the camera so that you can see, especially like if I'm going to do a small area. I'm using blue here, but I'm going to tip it with a light blue. I'm not going to tip it with that ivory color like I did the other blue. And then I guess I'll get brown out and color the center of the flowers. Oh my goodness, Shalene, the shrimp stir fry. I love shrimp stir fry. Jess, you're trying to decide what to have tonight. I haven't had dinner and I probably really won't have dinner. I usually just will have some fruit and drink a lot of water. I might make a little bit of a lean cuisine, but a few times a year I have to have my esophagus stretched. And when it gets to be around that time, it's very hard to get food down. So I don't make a lot of food because I can't eat it. Cabbage rolls and veggies. Oh, chicken fingers, cabbage rolls, and veggies for Jilly. I'm going to Jilly's. Then I'm going to stop by Jess's. Then I'm going to stop by Shalene's. Jess is going to have something with chicken. I can dig chicken. Oh, Tony made chicken last night. Maybe I just heat a couple pieces of that up and nibble on that. It takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to eat a child-sized portion of a meal because everything gets stuck in my esophagus. Let's see. Oh, Michelle wants jambalaya. Yeah, every time I make jambalaya, I tease Michelle because She always wants a bowl of that. I did make American chop suey the other day. So for leftovers, if I don't do a lean cuisine, there's leftover chicken and sweet potatoes, and there's leftover um, uh, American chop suey. So I'll eat something, but I can guarantee you it will be a very, very small portion. Okay, so now I guess I'm going to try to use these two colors. This is Pompeian red, and I'll just use this with cream over here, and then I'll go in and get the scent of my flowers. All right, Roslyn, you have a great appointment. Be safe, whether you're riding or driving. Be safe while you're out there. You have a great day, and thank you so much for coming to my channel. Oh, chicken tacos sounds yummy. Yes, yes. Okay, Jilly, come on, stop it. Now you're making pumpkin pie and peach cobbler for dessert? Okay, that's craziness. Yes, Jess, Kim's here. She was here. Oh no, Jess, Kim left. She had to go do something, so she's gone for the evening. She just left maybe 7 or 8 minutes ago, Jess. I'm just gonna bring this up a little bit so that it blends appropriately enough. Hey, buddy. No? Okay. Excuse me, not Sylvester. Toby's thinking of jumping on my lap, so if he jumps up, he's going to hit the camera, so let's hope he doesn't jump up here. He's trying to gauge whether there's enough room on this desk for him, and the answer to that is no. So he's down, he's giving me the eye right now, so cats will try anything, so he's probably going to try to get between my arm and the boom arm for the camera. Oh, yesterday was Thanksgiving, so you having a lot of yummy, yummy leftovers. So we know Jilly lives in Canada. Yummy leftovers, Jilly. I'm really, really pressing hard with this ivory and this Pompeian red. I'm not loving it, but that's what I'm doing. You don't usually. See, Jilly, you didn't have to tell us that. You could have let us all think that you're a home chef, that you're master chef ready. Oh, good. I'm glad you're liking it. Jess, I wasn't too crazy about it, so you're making me feel better about my decision to use it. Yeah, Jilly, we would all walked away thinking that you're chefing it up for your family every day. And a few minutes ago, you probably heard the vacuum cleaner. My daughter was probably, I don't know why, because she just had a C-section, but she was vacuuming my kitchen floor, which, as far as I can recall, husband just washed the kitchen floor yesterday, but Ariana was doing something in my kitchen. Cat, just like a kid, when you're busy, they want to get in and mess with you. They do. You want to know something funny? Is I was gluing a puzzle together last night, about maybe 1 this morning. I'll show you them. I'm going to push my lamp down. Let's see. I put this on my wall. I am framing it, but I just had to get it up there. I was using Mod Podge last night, and Milo jumped on my puzzle and got Mod Podge on all 4 of his paws. So I had to chase him through the house and clean his poor little paws. He's like, "What did I just step in?" But they gotta jump because like who just said that? Kay was just saying the cat is like a kid. When you're busy, they want to get and mess with you. And that's exactly why Milo got Mod Podge all over him, because he had to jump up on my puzzle table to see what I was doing at 1:30 in the morning. Blitz is laying on the arm of the couch next to me. So I know one cat's named Blitz, Shalene, and I can't remember the other cat, but Blitz is the one that is stuck to you now, Shalene. And Jess, what are we saying that Jess should do? Jess, she's loving the red. Are we still talking about the chicken tacos? Yes, Jess. If that's what we're talking about, do it. Michelle says she loved my reaction when Ariana came home from the hospital. Yes, poor Ari. She said she was knocking on my back door. She dug out her keys, thank goodness, because I never heard that door. And then she said she was knocking on my office door, and she said she walked away, and she came back and knocked on it again and walked away. And then the next time she said she came back, she actually opened it, and I couldn't believe that was her beautiful face. My voice just caught, because I get emotional about my kids. But oh goodness, I feel like crying right now. When I saw Ariana's face, I don't want to cry, but I can't tell you the feeling I had. Ariana's 27 years old, and she still pulls those emotions out of me. And I hear Olivia crying right now. Olivia is very content, but she does not like to be changed. So I would almost bet that her mommy's changing her diaper or her onesie. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate that. Yeah. My kids always make me feel that way. But Ariana did surprise me, because she had texted me in the morning. No, she had called me when I was listening to my Kingdom Hall meeting, and said that they were going to be discharged, and I didn't know that she had gotten home when she did, so that was such a nice surprise. Yes, Kay, they do. They do. Kids always get to our hearts. They really, really do. Allie stays in your bedroom still, huh? That's really interesting. Has it been 2 weeks since you got Allie and Blitz, Shalene? And how's Pearl treating them? Jess, tuna casserole is it's my comfort food. I love making tuna casserole. As a matter of fact, maybe I'll make some tomorrow. I'm so glad you said that, Jess. Your boys like to make you cry, Shalene. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. Yeah, it doesn't matter how old our kids are, they still remain in our hearts. Speaking of kids, my daughter Alexis hasn't called me in a couple of days. I'm going to have to call her after this stream. They punch us in the gut. They sure do, Jess. They knock the wind right out of you because you're so overwhelmed with emotion. And Michelle did that, because when she said my reaction to Ariana coming home. See, I rushed off the live stream because I didn't want you guys to hear my emotion, and just with Michelle reminding me, brought that emotion right back to me. Speaking of emotion, when the baby was 1 day old, Ari was in a lot of pain, and she was telling me about it after the fact, and she had me bawling. And she says, "Mommy, why are you crying?" And I'm like, "Because you were in pain. I can't stand the fact that you were in pain." Okay, I'm thinking about doing a couple of these leaves, and then maybe another 10 minutes. Maybe I'll do these leaves right here, these leaves on this one, and maybe these two, and then possibly the dog. I'm not going to stay on more than another 15 or 20 minutes. So let's make sure you can see this. So So you guys hear that little sound. Any good there's some diamond paintings available for Prime Day, Kay. Jess, so if you're thinking about diamond paintings, they do have some. I don't know if you diamond paint though. I can't remember whether or not you do. Yes, she does, Michelle. No question about that. I had her for nearly 2 hours this morning. It was just Olivia and Nana this morning. And I think that's going to be our routine because I'm always the first one up in my house. So just like Ari let me go take her this morning, I think that's going to be me and Olivia's time. She just wanted to be picked up. I hear Ari talking to her now. They're in the living room. My office is off of the living room. The first day that she was born, Ari's like, Mommy, Olivia's too content. I don't know how her lungs are. She was just so happy. She was just looking around. She was content. That lasted one day. Okay, Jess is buffering, but it's not buffering over here. But what you are getting is a shadow that wasn't there before. Let's try to get rid of that shadow. Okay, there we go. Bye, Katrina. I hope you're still here for me to be able to say goodbye to you. I'm so sorry I missed your comment. Yes, please go to sleep, sweetheart. Get some rest, okay? Yes, tell us about your job, the next one, and I hope to see you the next time I come around. It's Prime. Let's see what's going on. Yes, yeah, Jess. If I only thing I really wanted from Prime Day was a couple of diamond paintings, and so I grabbed two of them, and I think they'll be here in a couple of days. And I think Andrea found 100 set of Ohuhu markers. So I don't know if you're looking for art supplies or what have you, Jess. But yeah, see what you can find. And you deserve to treat yourself, Jess, because you know you're special. Excuse me, you're special, and do something kind for yourself. Heck, maybe I'll do something. Thank you for asking for thumbs up. I would appreciate it. That's a lot of dark green. I kind of wish I had done a little red on the leaves, but maybe no. I know what I'll do. I'm going to take that Pompeian red and this green. Oh, books, coloring books. Jess, I'm probably, when you say books with me, it could be, for me, it could be reading, but I imagine you're speaking of coloring books. Jess, are you getting the Camilla D'Erico Cute and Creepy book? Maybe you can grab that today. Very welcome, Jess. I'm going to try to see if I like the red and green because it is fall. The nice thing about fall coloring leaves and fall colors is you can pretty much do anything because that's what what happens in nature. They come out any which way. There's no rhyme or reason. And after I do these two leaves right here, I will do the dog and then we will wrap it up. I can't get into the binding, so I see some right there. But I'm going to stop there because I'm not quite sure I'm married to those colors. For all I know, that might be erased. What I wanted to do was to try to practice a little bit of oh, you already had it, Jess. Okay. That's not surprising. And then she says she's getting coloring books. I can't wait to see what you get, Jess. Hope I'm going to work on the dog for a bit. I hope you plan on doing an unboxing, Jess. Or like a a haul video if you grab some books today. Jess and I were talking earlier today. I hope Jess doesn't mind that I'm about to mention this, but about how what YouTube is doing, what these communities is doing, is it's making some strong friendships out of some of us. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. Um, I'm an introvert, believe it or not. And if I wasn't on in these communities, I would be happy just reading 17 hours a day and sleeping the rest of the time and not really worrying about spending time with anybody other than my family. But what's happening is we're meeting each other on in this coloring community, and because of meeting each other, friendships are being born, you know. And sometimes it's just texting back and forth, sometimes it's video, sometimes it's audio. Like Shalene and I, we say hi. I love you too, Nick. Thank you. Are you an introvert, Kay? Yes. As a matter of fact, look what I have right here. Can I show this story? The introvert. Let me come up a little bit. The introvert activity book. Help me work on my social skills when it comes to meeting people face to face. I do not do well. All right, so that's my little introvert guide. But what's cool about what's happening with YouTube is that we're some of us are bonding, and Jess and I were commenting on that today. Um, I chat with Shalene every day. Shalene is good um, at understanding when I shut down. And Shalene understands that when I don't get too communicative, it's never personal. It's when I go into a bipolar low. But other than that, we're making some pretty solid friendships here. Michelle, oh, an introvert, Michelle, is when you are a very private person. Like Kay says, you keep to yourself. Michelle, there's two kinds of people. There's introverts and there's extroverts. An extrovert is somebody that's a very open, very person that gets along with everybody, can speak to everybody. An introvert is a very shy, kind of a bashful type of a person. And I am definitely an introvert. This when most of the animals that I color are grayscale, this isn't. So I'm just trying to do a little bit of, give it some kind of a little bit of realism. You really can't do a lot of realism with a picture like this, but I'm just doing the best I can. I'm just using these two colors. I'm using Pompeian red for the third time. No, this is Indian red and Caput mortem and Indian red. Shalene says she used to be an extrovert and she loved going to retreats and partying. Now she's an introvert since getting anxiety. I get that, Shalene. Oh boy, do I get that. I get that too well. When I was a teenager, I was very sociable. When I started having my kids, I kind of dealt with my depression that maybe was buried, kind of came out, and I developed an aversion to people, social anxiety almost to a point. I think the only reason that I'm even more sociable, and I'm not so much speaking about like YouTube and whatnot, is because of my religion and having association with people that when I would see them at the Kingdom Hall. But now, of course, we're doing it by Zoom. So by the time it's time to go back in person, I'm going to have an adjustment problem. I when I would go to my Kingdom Hall, these are people that I've known for years and years. I just sit in my chair. It's nothing like you see with me, what you see me doing on YouTube. You would think that I'm a very outgoing person, but I'm the furthest thing from outgoing, which is why I got that book. Michelle says she guesses that she's an introvert, but some people think that she's antisocial. Yeah, you're right, Michelle. People will think that that's the way you are, but it doesn't mean that you're antisocial. It just means that you're very reserved around people. You're very private, and you kind of hold yourself back, and that's what I do. The funny thing is, I'm a very loving, touchy feeling, huggy type of a person. So once you become my friend, you're my friend for life. The only problem is I can't let too many people in. And that's that introverted part of me that keeps people at arm's length. But there are some people that get through that barrier, and then I get to come out of my shell a little bit more. My husband's even more of an introvert than I am, so him and I are very, very alike in that. Andrea, you had me worried earlier, by the way, you know, and I'm going to message you. I just didn't have time because I was going to try to finish the book I was reading after you streamed. And then it was time for me to set up my stream, but you did worry me, honey, so I hope you're okay. I don't know which way to flick for his leg here. I guess I'll try to flick it this way. I'm a little confused on how to do this part of the leg. The back will be easier than the leg is because it's kind of curled over. Hi, Jerry. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you taking the time to come. Shalene's husband is an introvert, and he's been most of the time that she's known him. So now you both are pretty much introverts, huh, Shalene? Kay's husband is the complete opposite of her. He's a huge extrovert. Oh, wait a minute. I'm learning a new word here. They say there's such a thing as an ambient now. It's a combination of introvert and extrovert. Wow, Julie. That's very interesting. I'm going to have to look that. Looks like I'm totally putting my hand in the camera because I was scrolling up. I'm so sorry about that. Ambient, ambient now. Okay, I'm going to have to look that up. Julie, thank you for telling me that. Andrea, I hope you're better now that you had a chance to lay down because you did worry us. Okay, so let's work on this leg. I think I'm just going to flick it this way, and then I'm going to use the darker color to fill in everywhere I'm leaving white. You probably need to see a rheumatologist, Andrea, because only pretty much a general practitioner does not diagnose autoimmune disorders. Only a neurologist or a rheumatologist will help you with a diagnosis like that. I mean, it's quite possible that if your mom has it, then you may have gotten it, inherited it from her. But I guess you have to start from the ground up and get yourself seen and checked out. Let's see. Okay, that's an email. I guess I'll leave that alone. Okay. Oh, ambivert, Julie. Okay, ambivert. Thank you. I cannot wait to look that up later. I wonder if I'm an ambivert because, when you see me in these communities, coloring, reading, now diamond painting, and blogging and jigsaw puzzles, I do just fine. But put me in a room full of people that I've known for years because of my religion, I can't talk to anybody. Put me online, I can. Or if, okay, like I like what they're doing with my Zoom meeting. I will say this. By the way, I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses if you didn't know. But the meeting will have, say, 200 of us. And after the meeting, we have breakout rooms now. We've had breakout rooms for about a month and a half. And each breakout room will have 6 to 8 of us. And this is new. And I'm loving the breakout rooms because it's making me have to talk to people that you really can't talk to when there's 200 of you. So that's kind of cool. That's a new thing. And it's through the Zoom app. Yes, you're so right, Andrea. The internet does make it easy to socialize. You know why? Because we're behind the screen. We're not as afraid as we would be if we were face to face. And see, I'm very soft spoken, so when I'm in a room full of people, you don't know I'm there because you won't be able to hear me. Like my sisters and I, when we do FaceTime, they never can on. Helps gain skills and then back. Okay, looks like we're back. Okay, that's weird. I'm going to try OBS because that's what Shalene uses, and if that doesn't work for me, Nick uses Streamlabs, so I'll try that. So I haven't tried OBS, and I didn't know what I was doing wrong with Streamlabs the other day. And maybe with one or both of those, I'll be able to control the bandwidth because I'm hoping that I'm doing a high speed, but I may not be. Hi, Bev. Welcome to my channel. Hi, Cindy. Welcome to my channel. You're saying back, Cindy, so you might have been here. And if you were here and I missed you, I want to truly apologize. Let me make sure. Cindy, you've been here for a few minutes, hon, and I didn't see you, so please forgive me. So we were talking about ambiverts. I'm wondering if I'm an ambivert because in social media, I'm super outgoing, but in private, I'm not. So I'm curious as to what personality category I fit into. All right, so it's 1 hour and 19 minutes. So let's try to finish this dog, and then we'll call it a day. If I'll just let you know that if I buffer again, I will end the stream since it's about that time for me to end the stream anyway. Okay, for the last few minutes of the stream, dog person or cat person? I'll start off. I'm a cat person. Or both. Who's both? I'm totally a cat person. Bev is 100% a dog person. Okay. Michelle's both. Kay is a cat person. Cindy is both. Okay, we got some people here are both. I know you love cats, Andrea. Andrea is a cat person. She's got her beautiful Charlie. Michelle is mostly a cat person. Nick is a cat person. I wonder if Shalene is able to come back after the buffering. But I bet she would say both because she's got the beautiful cats, and then she also has her dog. And for some reason, I'm drawing a blank on her dog. Jerry has an English bulldog, so she likes both, but she's starting to love dogs more. Now, I've had dogs. We've had dogs in my family when my kids were growing up. I had two. One named Gia, who was a pit bull, And then I had a Shih Tzu whose name was Bentley. But all along, I've always had two, three, or four cats at a time. Right now, we just have two. Toby is currently filling my recliner with cat fur at the moment, but he's my baby. So, by the way, I am so much of a cat person. Oh, Shalene, welcome back, first of all. And are you a cat person, a dog person, or both? And while we wait for Shalene's answer, Toby follows me from room to room to room. If I'm in the kitchen, he's laying on a kitchen chair, even if I'm cooking. If I'm in the living room, he's on the couch next to me. If I'm in my bedroom, he's on the foot of my bed. And when I'm in my office, he's in my recliner. I mean, the cat doesn't get enough sleep because he's so busy following me around the house. Yes, Shalene, I thought you would say both. Um, an English bulldog, I bet you those dogs are gorgeous, Jerry. Cindy has two dogs and two cats, so she definitely has to say both. It would not be fair for her to say only one. I tell you what, if we did not live in an apartment, like when we used to live in the house, we lived in the house for about 7 or 8 years, we had dogs in that house because it was easy to have a dog when you have a huge, huge yard. But after we gave up the house and we moved into the different apartments, we've lived in two different places since that one house. Um, we're just down to the cats. Really? How, Jerry? How are English? Did you say English bulldogs? Let me scroll back. How are English bulldogs similar to cats? Now you've got me curious. Chihuahuas scare you? Um, I don't like Chihuahuas either. It's not so much that I dislike them; it's just that I could never actually imagine owning a yappy, 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 yappy dog. I maybe because I'm used to cats being quiet, I'd rather have a dog that's quiet. That's just me, and that's why I don't like Chihuahuas. Boy, this paw is really long. Chihuahua named Zeus and a pit bull named Daisy May. You have a Chihuahua and a pit bull, Cindy. That is funny. Cindy Lee. Guess what my middle name is? It's also Lee, but it's Leigh. Um, Shalene has been bitten by every Chihuahua she's come across. I'm sorry for laughing, Shalene. And yes, they are yappy dogs, and I don't like yappy dogs. And Kay has the same aversion because they're yappy and they're growly. Yes, Chihuahua. Everybody has a problem with Chihuahuas. Okay, so Jerry likes English bulldogs because they sleep a lot and they're not as active. So Jerry, if I ever really, really, really get in the mood to own a dog again, I guess we're going to have to try to see if we could ever find or rescue an English bulldog. Whenever we get a pet, I like it to be a rescue. Every animal we've ever owned has come by way of rescue. I'm kind of happy with my dog here. Speaking of dogs, I'm kind of happy with this. It could be a cat. I don't know. We'll call it a dog. But I'm kind of happy with this. Yeah, it's a dog because of the nose. What am I thinking? See, I don't know dogs because for a second there, I say that because my sister Nikki, okay, I have two cats named Milo and Toby, and they're brothers, and Nikki has their siblings. They're all from the same litter. Her cat, Oliver, um, has a big, huge, fluffy tail. She calls Oliver all the fur because he sheds all the time. Jerry likes to rest. She likes rescue pets and she likes fostering them. I think that's awesome. Um, a black teacup poodle, Cindy Lee. That silver black teacup poodle had to be gorgeous. Thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate that. So since the dog is about done, I do want to get rid of any white that I see, and I'm just going to go over it a little bit more. We're going to wrap this stream up, and as I try to eliminate the white, I want to tell everybody thank you so much for coming, for being here. Oh, wait a minute. If everybody likes Zeus, let's find out. Zeus is her Chihuahua? She says everybody would love Zeus, so Zeus may change our mind on Chihuahuas being yappy dogs. So cool. I want to go back to Cindy Lee's comment. Chihuahua named Zeus and Pitbull named Daisy Mae and Tortoiseshell named Trixie Belle and Tomcat named Duad. Wow. I want to come to your house, Cindy. I love the names of your animals. I just wanted to read that comment again. Kate came across 2 Chihuahuas that were friendly. They would hardly ever bark at you and would come and sit in your lap. Yes, but then every other Chihuahua is crazy. You're right about that. Oh my goodness, Cindy. I guess you wouldn't like Chihuahuas. I mean, Andrea, you wouldn't like Chihuahuas. Thank you again, everybody. I loved the stream. You guys make me feel so comfortable. I have to admit, I was feeling kind of weak. I actually even had one of these before my stream to make sure that I have reactive hypoglycemia, and this kind of got me through the stream because I haven't eaten yet today. And I'm glad I had the stream, and I enjoyed chatting with everybody. And let me go back to Michelle's comment real quick. She had a dog. It was named Irina. It was a Dachshund and a Beagle mixed. Doxy. I'm not sure what that last part means, but okay. I'm thinking of streaming on the days Tony works, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I do not want to overstream anybody. So I think Nick streams on Wednesday at 6 or 7. So I will talk to Nick and make sure that I don't clash with him. And I want to always check with Shalene. And I told Michelle that I don't want to stream over her if possible. So I'm not quite sure when I'll be back, but it may be as soon as tomorrow. So thank you so much, everybody. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for putting up with me and answering my silly questions that came up. And I hope to see everybody again soon. Everybody have a nice, safe evening. And if you don't mind, give me some thumbs up on the way. I'd really appreciate it. Bye, everybody.